Hello student, today we will study fluid mechanics part 5, in which we will study fluid kinematics in detail, introductory part, method used in kinematics, etc. First we will learn what is really kinematics means. Kinematics is defined as the branch of science which deals with the motion of particles without considering the force caused the motion. In contrast to dynamics, where we consider such force. In simple language, we can say that kinematics deal with the motion of particles without considering the force caused by the motion. Force caused the motion. Now we will see the method used in kinematics. Generally, we use two methods, that is Lagrangian concept and Euler concept. What the Lagrangian concept say? In this method, only a single fluid particle is focused. We focused on a particular fluid particle and imagine and find the whole fluid nature. Or we can say that in this method only a single fluid particle is focused while following fluid motion. And in Euler concept, this method focused on all the particles at once passing through a particular section. Now we will see the steady and unsteady flow. What is steady and unsteady flow? If the fluid characteristics such as density, velocity, pressure, etc. at a point do not change with time, the flow is said to be a steady flow. And if the fluid and the flow variables at a point may change with time, the flow will be actually called unsteady flow. It is applicable for all property. Or in simple language, we can say that density, velocity, pressure, etc. अगर same है तो steady flow है, and if these are changing, then we can say that it is unsteady flow. Or steady, unsteady, we tell this with respect to time. That is, for steady flow, del V by del T or del P by del T is equal to 0. That is, change in velocity or pressure with respect to time will be 0. And for unsteady flow, change in velocity and pressure with respect to time will not be equal to 0. Now we will see uniform and non-uniform flow. If the velocity vector at all the points in the flow is same at any instant of time, the flow is said to be a uniform flow. And if the fluid and the flow variables varies at a point may change with time, the flow will actually unsteady. Sorry, we are talking about non-uniform. Then if the velocity vector at all the point in the flow is same at any instant of time, then it will be uniform. The flow is said to be uniform flow. If the velocity vector varies from point to point at any instant of time, the flow will be not uniform. That in a steady flow, velocity not varies with respect to time, and in uniform, velocity not vary with respect to distance. That we can say that del V by del is equal to 0 for uniform, and del V by del T is equal to 0 for steady flow. Now we will see what is the laminar and turbulent flow and what is difference and similarities in these. In laminar flow, the particle move in layered slide smoothly over the adjoint layer, while in turbulent flow, particles have a random and erratic and zigzag-like movement. Intermixing in the adjoint layer, it gives the Reynolds number. If for flow its value is less than 2000, the flow is laminar. If it is greater than 4000, then the flow is said to be turbulent. Now I will show the chart where we will see the flow conditions, pipe flow, and the open channel. Here we will see the natural flow according to the Reynolds number for pipe and open channel flow. Here are the flow conditions. We have three flow conditions: laminar flow, transitional flow, and turbulent flow, and flow through pipe and open channel. if we say the laminar flow, there should be Reynolds number less than 2000 for the pipe flow, and for open channel there should be less than 500. And similarly for transitional flow, Reynolds number will be in between 2000 and 4000 if the flow is through pipe, and if the flow is through open channel, then the Reynolds number will be exist in between 500 to 1000. And if we taking or considering the turbulent flow, then the Reynolds number will be greater than 4000, and for open channel it will be greater than 1000. Now we will see the compressible and non-compressible flow. What is similarities and differences? In compressible flow, we consider compressible flow is that type of the flow in which the density of the liquid changes from point to point, and incompressible flow is that type in which density constant for the fluid for whole. It not change with respect to distance or time. Liquid are generally incompressible while gas are compressible. Now we will learn about the rotational and irrotational. Rotational flow is that flow in which fluid particles while moving also rotate about their axis, and if they don't rotate, then it is called as irrotation. Now we will see we will talk about dimensional flow, that is one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional. What is the dimensions means? If we talk about the one dimension flow is that type of flow in which flow parameters such as velocity is a function of time as well as one space coordinate only. And similarly, if we take the two dimension, then we can say that the two dimensional flow is that flow in which the velocity is the function of time and two space coordinate. And similarly, if we talk about three dimensional, then we can say that the three dimensional flow is that type of flow in which velocity is a function of time and three space coordinate. Now we will talk about the streamline, pathline and straight line motion. If we take streamline motion, a streamline is an imaginary line drawn in a flow field such that a tangent drew at any point on this line represents the direction of velocity vector at that point. There is no velocity component normal to the streamline. And if we talk about pathline, a pathline is a curve traced by a single fluid particle during its motion, and when a dye is injected in a liquid, I am talking about a straight line. When a dye is injected in a liquid or a smoke in a gas, so as fresh, the subsequent motion of the fluid particles passes a fixed point. The path followed by the dye or smoke is known as a straight line. Now see the continuity equation. What is this? Simply, in simple language, we can say that continuity equation states that the flow rate of a particular liquid, if this is passing through a simple pipe and steady uniform flow, then continuity equation states that the flow rate, that is Q, will be equal at all the cross section. That is, if we take the cross section 1 and 2, the flow rate R or Q will be equal, that is Q1 is equal to Q2. All flow rate is given by A into V, that is area into velocity. That we can say that equation of continuity states that A1 into V1 is equal to A2 into V2. Again further we will see the derivations, that we will consider a short interval of time. In this time the fluid will cover a distance delta x, let all I assumed, with a velocity V1 at the lower end of the pipe. At this time the distance covered by the fluid will be Ax1 is equal to V1 delta 2. This is a simple solution that you can also understand and solve, and this is not unnecessary. You can go through the following derivations by pausing the video and just skip this and jump to the conclusion. We get the conclusion. The equation provides the law on the conservation of mass in the fluid dynamic. Also, if the fluid is incompressible, the density of relevant constant for the steady flow. So, ρ1 is equal to ρ2. The equation 4 that we have derived previous can be now written as A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. in equation 4 there was a1 v1 rho 1 is equal to a2 v2 rho 2 if there is compressible fluid, that is rho 1 rho 2 will be differ, but this equation is for if the fluid is incompressible, steady and uniform, then rho 1 is equal to rho 2. So the continuity equation will come, that is rho 1 v1 a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. In general form we can state that AV is equal to constant. If we denote the AV as a flow rate as R or Q, then above equation can be represented as R or Q is equal to AV is equal to constant. And the mathematical representations as shown here, if V is the function of UVW, then we can say that change in density with respect to time and change in rho u, rho v and rho w with respect to xyz will be 0. Now we will see the velocity and acceleration. The velocity of fluid particle is given in the different form, and the total acceleration of the fluid particle is given by the summation of local and convective acceleration. Local acceleration denotes the change in velocity with respect to time, whereas the convective acceleration denotes the change in velocity with respect to one space, with respect to a space, with over space we can say that. Now we will see the mathematical derivations or representations. If we see u, v, w as a function f1, f2, f3, and all the functions are the have variables x, y, z, t, then v equal to uy plus vj plus wk. Our resultant is equal to u square plus v square plus w square. Now we will see the total acceleration of the fluid, which will be ax, ay, and az, that denote all the three directions, x-axis and y-axis and z-axis. And here we have two parts, that is local accelerations and the convective accelerations. Local acceleration that deal with respect to time only, and convective acceleration deal with the space, and where we take one space, two space, and three space, it varies, one dimension, two dimension, three dimension. If it considers only x-axis motions, x-axis acceleration, then the ax is equal to del u by del t, which is local acceleration, plus u del u by del x plus v del u by del y plus w del u by del z, which is convective acceleration. So we can say that total acceleration of the fluid is equal to local acceleration plus convective acceleration. Now we will talk about the rotational component, vorticity and circulations. Before this we will see the type of flow and the convective and temporal acceleration exist or not, in which we will categorize the type of flow in four category: steady, uniform, steady and non-uniform, unsteady and uniform, unsteady and non-uniform. If we see the temporal acceleration, that is acceleration due to change in velocity with respect to time, it not exist if there is steady motion. If it is only exist, temporal acceleration only exists if there is unsteady motion. And for convective acceleration, it exists if steady motion and non-uniform, and if unsteady motion and uniform. And you can see the chart properly and thoroughly. Now let's talk about the rotational component, vorticity and circulation. What are these components? Rotational component is that movement of the fluid element in such a way that both of its axes, horizontal and vertical, rotate in the same direction. The rotational component are given by the determinant. If we talk about the vorticity, vorticity is defined as the value twice of the rotation, and circulation is the line integral of the tangential component of the velocity around a curved surface. Here there is minor mistake. This is vorticity, not velocity around a closed surface. Now we will see the notes. First we will see the mathematical representations. Omega is equal to omega x plus omega y plus omega z. If this is only for the rotational component. If there is non-rotational and irrotational component, then omega will be 0. That is omega x is equal to omega y is equal to omega z 0. मतलब ओमेगा एक्स, ओमेगा वाई, ओमेगा जेड तीनों जीरो होगा. यहाँ से हम कह सकते हैं कि ओमेगा डब्ल्यू अपन ओमेगा वाई माइनस ओमेगा बी अपन ओमेगा जेड भी जीरो होगा। आई का कॉम्पोनेंट, जेड का कॉम्पोनेंट और के का कॉम्पोनेंट, आई जे के तीनों कॉम्पोनेंट जीरो होगा। तीनों को इंडिविजुअली वी कैन इक्वेट विथ जीरो and we can also solve the equations. Here there is dot. Flow outside the boundary layer has irrotational characteristic, while that within the boundary layer it is rotational. You should remember this. Now we will move forward about the velocity potential function and the streamline function. Stream functions. Here velocity functions, your potential function denoted as phi and stream function as psi. Here both is the scalar functions of space and time. If we talk about velocity potential function, it is such function such that if we take the negative derivative of any of its in any direction, it gives the fluid velocity in that direction. Similarly, if we take the partial derivative with any direction, give the velocity component right angle to that direction. If we say in detail, velocity potential function is defined as scalar functions of the space and time such that its negative derivative with respect to any direction gives the fluid velocity in that direction. If we talk about the stream function, is defined as the scalar function of space and time such that its partial derivatives with respect to any functions give a velocity component at right angle to that direction, that we consider the psi and phi are orthogonal. Here some mathematical representations also given: u equal to minus del phi over del x, b equal to minus del phi over del y, and w is equal to minus of del phi over del z. Here below the slide there is given a Laplace equations which is equal to del 2 phi upon del x square plus del 2 phi upon del y square is equal to 0. It is also denoted as or represented as del v upon del x plus del v upon del y is equal to 0. Or if we talk about the stream functions, here v is equal to del psi by del x or u is equal to minus del psi by del x, or we should also note or be memorized, if psi exists, that is stream function exists, then it satisfies continuity equation and flow can be rotational or irrotational. But if psi satisfies Laplace equation, then in this case it is irrotational flow. This is Cauchy-Riemann equation. This is a mathematical term. If we this is actually complex function. Here del phi upon del x is equal to del psi by del y. They are in shortcut we can say, if we use the term Cauchy-Riemann as CR equation. What is this equation? If we have a f of z is equal to u plus b and u b are the function of x y, then f of z should be analytical. And what is this analytical term? Analytical means if we have point z is equal to z naught, then check whether the this is differentiable in neighborhood coordinate, that is z plus phi and z plus delta or z minus delta, then it is called as an analytical function. Or Cauchy-Riemann equation, generally this is a complex, this is only mostly for complex function. Here there is a notable part, that is equipotential line and constant stream functions line are orthogonal. Now we will see about the flow net and the procedure for drawing the flow net and the method of drawing flow net.